All right, we ready? Sam, you good? You ready? Okay. Well, good evening and welcome to Fate City Hall. Looks a little different than it normally does during meetings and other board and commissions. So this is kind of fun. This is certainly an exciting opportunity for Fate. It is now 5:30, so we'll begin our Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee meeting. Before we begin, though, I would like to turn it over to Mr. Wells. You wanted to say a few words, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So welcome, everyone. My name is Ryan Wells. I'm the Director of Planning and Development Services. I'll have a few more comments here in a few moments, but I just wanted to let you all know we do have the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee up on the dais right now. As at the beginning of this meeting, we just have a few business items that we need to take care of, as this is the first time this group is convening. Once we're done with that and after the public comment period, they'll be coming down off the dais and joining everybody at the tables, just so we can have a kind of a more comfortable conversation among both the CPAC and the working group as we get into the visioning section. So bear with us as we get the business done. Then we'll start the visioning session in just a few moments. Thanks.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Ms. Harris, do we have a quorum present?
Yes, sir, we do.
Okay, so our next item on the agenda, please. Oh, actually, and we talked about this. So if you have an agenda, you'll see that public comment is next. I would like to move, committee, I would like to move agenda items 3 and 4 before public comment, just so that we can allow the chair to officially run these meetings. However, in keeping with the Texas Open Meetings Act, I do want to ask Ms. Harris, do we have anybody who is wishing to speak via public comment on agenda items 3 or 4?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. Seeing none of those, we will move to agenda item 3, please. Ms. Harris?
Agenda item 3, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action regarding appointing a chair to the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee. A, accept nominations. B, vote on nominations in alphabetical order. C, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action regarding appointing a chair to the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee.
Okay. So we'll open up nominations right now, and I'll begin. I would like to nominate Mr. Brett Bushnell to be the chair of the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee. Well, any other nominations? All right, look at you go. Okay, so we will close the nominations. Ms. Harris?
We will go ahead and vote, hand vote. We do not have it in the system. So all in favor of Brett being our chair for the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee, please raise your hand. Okay. Or I'm sorry, before that, let me take a motion and a second, and then we'll go ahead and raise our hand, Andrew, if you'd like to.
Oh, because we
facilitate
really
the
don't have to
motion.
vote
Yes,
on
sir.
the nominations. Okay, yeah. So since there's none, I'll make a motion that we appoint Mr. Brett Bushnell as chair of the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Mr. Brett Bushnell to chair the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee, please indicate by raising your hand. All right, the motion passes unanimously. Congratulations, sir. So we'll officially switch and let you run it from here.
Thank you, Ryan. Madam Chair, what's the next item on the agenda?
Item 4, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action regarding appointing a vice chair to the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee. Same as last time, we will accept nominations, vote on nominations in alphabetical order, and discuss, consider, and take any necessary action regarding appointing a vice chair to the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee.
Do we have any nominations for vice chair of the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Bob Chambers.
Do we have any other nominations? No, I need a motion to appoint. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Press my button.
Do I have a motion?
There it goes. I would like to make a nomination. Martha Huffman.
Second.
So now we will go ahead and vote, or we need to secure the nomination. So all in favor of Bob being the vice chair, please raise your hand. Okay, and now at this time, all those in favor of Martha being the vice chair, please raise your hand. Okay, Martha has secured the nomination. She's just not here yet. She is running a little late, so we can congratulate her when she arrives. And so now we can do a motion and a second to facilitate that for her.
Do I have a motion to appoint Martha Huffman as the vice chair of the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please raise your hand. Unanimous. Thank you all.
Next item on the agenda, Madam Secretary.
Next item is our visioning workshop. What was it? Oh, I'm sorry. No, we've already done the public comment. Just for the record, for item 3, public comment, I still do not have any public comment forms at this time. And so we'll go on to agenda item 5, visioning workshop, which will include an introductory presentation by comprehensive plan team. B, warm-up exercises. C, discuss needs, wants, and desires. D, discuss barriers, obstacles, and annoyances. E, group breakout to prioritize items in section 5C and 5D. And F, follow-up discussion.
Great, thank you, Samantha. So as we begin this, I want to invite the members of the CPAC to come on down and join everybody at the tables. And while that's happening, I'd like to introduce Michelle and the rest of the Olson team. They'll be giving the introductory presentation for the visioning session, and they're going to guide the rest of the discussion tonight. But of course, myself, the rest of our staff, and each other are going to be available to dialogue and hopefully have a very robust and productive conversation tonight. And once again, I do want to thank you all for taking the time to be here with us tonight. Michelle?
I'm just going to let everyone get situated for a second. Oh, that's so exciting. We got a full house tonight. Again, welcome, and thank you so much for being here at the Visioning Workshop. This is kind of our kickoff event. We want to really have a good time today. We want to dream, and we want to brainstorm and get creative with some of the ideas. Yes, sir? Use the microphone, please. Oh, yeah. Let me stand a little closer. Is that better? Okay. All right. Thank you for being here. Okay, as Ryan said, the planning team, my name is Michelle Queen. I'm the project manager for the Comprehensive Plan Update. With me today is Ken Boone, master facilitator. Marina Hanna is walking in the door right now. She's our team project planner. And also accompanying here, observing, is Reed Cleater in the back right there. And that's the Olson team here for you today. So if you have any questions or while we're doing the exercises, just pull us aside, tap our shoulder. We're happy to help. Okay. So what we're embarking on today is the Comprehensive Plan Update. We're not rewriting the existing plan, but we want to take a serious look at it. We know so much has happened, so much has been accomplished successfully over the last couple of years. We just want to look at it again and reevaluate because there's limited space and time left for what's remaining in FATE, and we want to make sure it's the best possible and it meets the vision and desires of the community, right? So we're really working to talk to you, hear what's important, hear what means a lot, what we want to preserve, what we want to change, things we want to define for that long-term vision, and just work through those from the 2021 plan to today. So here's a quick map of the planning area with our points of interest. There's a map in the back right there. We'd love for you guys to continue to add more points of interest and personal landmarks. This is really going to help us build that story of what's important and meaningful in the community and what we need to focus on preserving and how to get there, connections, more importantly. So a fun exercise in the back on that. And also, our main focus is the city limits, but we're also going to be looking into the ETJ and what we're going to plan for that long-term vision. The project schedule, we like to set our projects up in 4 phases. So right now we're in discover phase. We are learning about the community. We are coming out and hearing what's important to you. We're driving around with Ryan and Catherine, and we're learning about where the key parts are and where the key corridors are and what's coming in the next year, what projects are coming in. So we're really looking at the data, looking at the on-the-ground information, and trying to get a bead for what we need to learn about for the community. So that's solidly where we are right now. We're also in the engage phase, where we're reaching out to the community. We're letting them know that this process is happening, and we're getting input from leadership and stakeholders about where we should go. And so right now, we're engaging and we're learning. And then we'll move into the plan, and that's in October. Before we start planning, we have an open house, and that'll be in late August, early September, and that's really gonna set the stage for the plan. That's where we're gonna learn a lot more about on-the-ground things that are missing, things that we're doing well, and then further, we'll refine and implement the plan next year. So, our purpose today is really to guide the future growth and development of FATE. Like I said, we're not rewriting the 2021 plan. We are just going to work on that next chapter, an addendum. What do we want to do next? What have we done well? What maybe needs to be redefined? So essentially, we're also going to provide a strategic plan for those key parts of town, including downtown. That's going to be a key focus of this effort. We also want to support a high quality of life, and that starts with knowing what's important, and that's really where we are today. We want to know what's important, what you've heard, what your friends care about, and what your family cares about. And then lastly, what we'll be working on is a clear long-term framework. You will see maps at open house, and then from there, you'll see action items, step by step, for the community, for Ryan, for your staff to continue on this venture. And then lastly, we want to turn the community input into a strategy and something you can work from. So that's what we're starting with today, just getting that vision. And so who's here today? We have our working group. We have our CPAC. Sorry, I see your face on here now. We have our working group and our comprehensive plan advisory committee here today. And those are our key stakeholder groups. They are representing the community, but also today we have the public invited and also listening, so welcome and thank you. But what's important is that you guys are here to provide input to us and tell us what you're hearing, and you're the boots on the ground. What do you see every day? What's your commute to work like? We want to know these things. And it's really going to help us understand what means the most here. Because I want to communicate that into the plan. It's not just a data document, it's really your legacy. And then provide key feedback. So from the visioning workshop, we're going to have a survey, we'll have more information, we'll need more confirmation on data at the open house. And so that's really where you guys are going to review things that we're providing and tell us if we're right or wrong. We're looking for you to tell us if this represents your community and you. And then lastly, be a representative voice. You guys are our champions on the street for this. When we have our open house, we hope that you all will tell your family, tell your friends, tell your church, tell the school, that this is happening, and so you are championing and inviting the community to be a part of this. So that's the action item for you guys today. Ken?
Okay, thank you. I'll add a couple of things to that. As we go through today and other events, I want you to be honest and open in the way that you're communicating. We don't know. We don't know your community the way you know your community. So what happens in a lot of these kinds of things is there's a lot of closed conversations that people feel very strongly about, and then they don't communicate that to the people that are trying to understand. So today is about understanding, right? And so if you don't communicate, if you're not honest with us, and we're okay with difficult conversations along the way. We kind of embrace that as a part of the process. So I want to ask you to communicate and be honest in that communication to make sure that we understand what those things are. And we're going to ask you about some of those things today. But as we go deeper into the project, we're going to ask about detailed things and the things that you brought up to us, and then we'll continue that process. This process is really a feedback loop, right? And that loop keeps getting smaller and smaller until it becomes a bullseye for the things that you want to do for your community moving forward. Our job is to create the next roadmap for faith. And we can't do that without you. We strongly believe that engaging the community, engaging stakeholders, is at the heart of good planning, especially comprehensive planning, okay? So you are critical to this process. You're not the only folks critical to this process. There's a lot of technical people, and there's the community at large, but you're our group that we're gonna ask a lot of detailed stuff of to allow you to help us understand faith better so we can give you your plan. Ta-da, not our plan. And that's really important to us, that this is yours. When we're done, we're gonna walk away. That's the way this works for us. And we're gonna try to set you up for the most success we possibly can. But this has to be your plan so you can embrace it and move it forward. And we hope, Michelle mentioned the idea of champions. We hope that every person in this room is a champion for at least one idea that comes out of this process. And if you are, think of the things that you could do with just the people in this room if you were the champion for one idea that comes out of this comprehensive plan. That would be huge. Think about all the things you could continue to do that are great in your community if you did that. So remember, we're never going to lose sight of this, so we don't want you to. This is your plan, not ours. We're just trying to understand so we can leverage our expertise, our understanding to create the best plan for you that we can.
You can.
Yeah.
Do you mind making sure you get the mic just so people who are watching?
Yep, you bet. Are there any questions? Are there any questions about that here as we keep rolling along? No? Yes, sir.
What is the difference between the CPAC and the working group? What are the roles? How do they differentiate?
Do you want to address that?
That's a very good question, Bob. Thank you. So when we set up the scope for this project, we knew that there was going to have to be a steering committee who kind of was the main filter for all the input that not only the community generates, but that the project team, including city staff and members of Olson, who are the consultants that are supporting staff, kind of generate and put together as the plan. So the CPAC, the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee, is that steering committee that is going to review the stages of the project's, the plan's development, and give us feedback as we go along. The working group is a broader coalition of stakeholders who we're asking to commit to participate in all of the outreach stages of the project, to go out there and support, be those champions that we're asking for, to help make sure that your neighbors, colleagues, and friends and family are participating in the various outreach activities, and also showing up to those different outreach activities to make sure that there's a continuous voice throughout the whole plan's development. And then all that information, again, goes up to the CPAC prior to that plan being finalized and taken to the Planning and Zoning Commission and ultimately City Council, which will be the board that's responsible for adoption of this plan. Does that answer your question? All right, great.
Okay. Question one down, all right? Any others? Yeah, please.
I'm not sure if you're going to cover this in the deck, but maybe it would be helpful for the folks in the room. Can you give just a brief background on what Olson's history is and what you guys have worked on?
Oh, geez, sure.
And just so we can understand your group point.
Absolutely. Selfishly, I start myself. I've been doing community planning and community works for over 3 decades. This is the focus of my work, and this in particular is something that I do a lot of, which is go to communities, help them create vision, and then try to create a plan that is actionable to actually execute those visions, right, through strategies and goals and good planning practice. Olson is a 2,500 people and growing company. We are in, I think right now we're probably in 38 states, and everything west of the Mississippi for sure. We have 400 people approximately in Texas. We've got an office in Fort Worth. We've got an office in Plano. Our group, our planning group, which is a specialized planning group within the company, also works with all of the other groups we have in our company, which are comprised of a lot of different engineering expertise. And so one of the great things we get to do is do community planning, community engagement, and then leverage all of that expertise into water and wastewater and environmental and transportation and all those other things into our planning projects. And then we get pulled into those other. We've been around for over 67 years now. Originally created and headquartered in Lincoln, Nebraska, and we've really grown throughout the rest of the country. So, yep, you bet. Yes, sir.
You made the comment that the goal is not to rewrite the plan, but it sounds like to tweak it, update it, massage it. Can you talk a little bit about the scope as you envision it? Because to me, that's key.
You bet. And so, as an update means we're not starting from scratch, right? We're not revisiting everything in the plan. One of the exercises tonight for everybody is to help us understand what's working and what's not with the existing plan. And we want to understand there were 7 previous goals in that plan. We want to know how those have landed. Are they working? Do they need to be tweaked, or do they need to be replaced, or are they exactly what we want to do? Our approach to comprehensive planning is a living document. A comprehensive plan is a living document, and it should be revisited outside of just statutory requirements every 10 years, right? And so things came up every year that you're like, oh, I think we should tweak that, or oh, I think we should change that, or oh, we didn't even think of that. Comp plans used to be 20-year timelines, back in the day. Now they're 10 if we're lucky, and most of that planning is done in the 5 to 10 range, right? So the update means we're going to respect the money, the resources, and everything that's been put into what was done previous, but we're also going to ask what needs to change. That's what the update's about, and how does, not looking backwards, but looking forwards, when you think about what the future of fate is, how do those things still apply, and what are the new things that we need to put in their place? And so that's really the focus of how it relates to the previous plan and the current plan. And so we're going to go through some of those exercises and identify what those things are, and then move that forward. What it doesn't mean is we're going to rewrite every single section of the plan. Okay, is that good? Does that work? Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Let's get rolling. Okay. Did I miss one? No, okay. All right, just about what we're here for tonight. We're here for what we call visioning. Who here has sort of been involved in some sort of visioning or strategic process before? Raise your hands. Okay, great. That's a lot of people. So for those of you who maybe haven't, and a refresher for those that have, visioning is about dreaming big. It's about not putting blinders on yourself, and asking yourself the question, if I had the ability to do, what would that be? What do you want the future roadmap for fate to look like? That's the big question. We're here to listen to what you want to be, and in some communities, what you want to be when you grow up, right? We've used that a lot, and a lot of people, that's a phrase that gets used quite a bit. It's not being flippant, but the idea is, how do we continue to evolve, and what's the next step? We're choosing it. We're creating a roadmap, so let's not limit ourselves at first. So I'm going to ask you a couple of hard things here. It's going to be really hard for some of you, maybe easier for others. Do not limit yourself today by the 2 most important things that limit you every day. Can anybody guess what the first one is? Money. Do not answer questions based on money. Okay? The second one, what would the second one be? Time. Okay? If you put money and time here, your vision gets pretty narrow. If we take those away, here are all the things that we can do. Now, the goal of the plan is to put the roadmap together to make those things happen. Don't put obstacles in front of the process first. Some things we may not be able to do, right? But let's find out what those things are by saying this is really important. Now, if you find out what's really important, now you can maybe put a plan to go through, around, under, whatever to make that happen. Okay, so try your best. We all have to live under those two things. Try your best today to not limit yourself by time or money. They will show up later. They will be a part of what we're doing because they have to be, okay? But today is about what do we choose to be? What do we dream to be? What do we want to be in our next evolution of the community, okay? Any questions about that? That makes sense? Okay, great. All right, so we're gonna warm up with some exercises, and these are, I guess I'm going to give you a little preamble here. These are individual exercises, okay? So for right now, I want to know what you think. I want to know if you're representing a group or an agency and you can represent them, fine. But you as an individual, if you're here as an individual, I want to know what you think, right? I want you to be able to say that in your own words. So what you have in front of you is a whole stack of Post-its, and we have hundreds and hundreds more, and a bunch of pens. Tonight we're going to ask you, every response you give tonight, we want you to put it on a Post-it. In your words, so that I'm not an editor for you. If you were telling me and I was writing on a flip chart, I'm going to abbreviate and edit as I'm going, and that's not going to be probably what you meant. You'll get frustrated, et cetera. I don't want that to happen. I want this to be in your words, out of your mouth, on the Post-it, okay? Our staff will be around to pick them up if you would prefer, but what I'm going to ask you to do is put one response only per Post-it. So if you have 5 things you want to say, that's 5 Post-its. Don't give me a bulleted list because it's more efficient. The trees are already cut down, they've already been milled, and they're already sitting in front of you. So it's okay. We're going to use this paper, all right? So if you have 2 things you want to say, that's 2 separate notes that I'm going to ask you to write in your own words. And then we're going to ask you to hang them in the appropriate spots when we're asking those questions, okay? Is there any questions about that as just a general process? Okay, here we go. Yes.
Real quick, so do you want them to fill them out and go put them up on the board now? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and you can hold on to a batch of 10 of them, or you can put them up one at a time. It's up to you, but we want you to go up and put them on those boards. We have plenty more paper that we can stick them to. I want you to know tonight at the end of the night, we're going to photograph every single one of these responses and record it. And so all of these responses will be recorded as a part of what we're doing here. Again, us trying to build understanding. So we also have 4 staff in this room, and we are happy, if you just raise your hand, to go put them up there for you too. Okay? If that's your preference, whatever. Sometimes it's nice to get up and stretch your legs. Yes?
Are we fine? And then you'll tell us where to go around the room?
Absolutely. Yep. Well, I'll move you around the room. I'll put you in the right place. I just want to know what's up here.
Got it.
Okay? All right. Here we go. We're going to do some warm-up stuff. First question. Softball. What's working? What's working in your community? Okay? And if you have more than one answer, I want more than one answer. I want as many answers as you want to give me, unless I tell you different, okay? What are those things you love? What are those things that make you want to stay? What are those things that brought you here? All of those different things. What's working for you about this community? And we're pretty good at reading a bunch of different handwriting after years of doing this, so. Okay. Again, raise your hands if you need help putting them up, and Reed and I'll come by and grab them. We're going to be right here. So if you want to post, that's where we're going to be. Question 1. It's over in the corner. We got another couple minutes. So as we're wrapping this one up, I want to mention that at any time you think of something you want to add, just go at it. It's fine. We don't have to be on that question for you to add to that question. We've got plenty of Post-its. Again, we're just trying to understand better. Okay. Okay. So as we're wrapping up, I bet you can guess what the next question is. So what's not working? Again, we're happy to come around and grab notes and put them up, so maybe you don't have to stand in the log jam, but what's not working? What are the challenges? What are the things that are should be easier, or that you want to see changed? Or you don't have to have an answer, just it's a thing that I want to see addressed. That'd be great. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, bulleted lists. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I appreciate that. Don't forget, back of the room, where are the places that you love? Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Thank you so much. Where are the things that are important to you? Where are the things that you would call places? Where are the iconic places? Where are the special places? Where's the heart? Those kinds of things. So if you can help us identify that on the map. Do we have dots out? We do have dots out, so you can just place it right there. And if you want to give us a post-it on the side, just tell us what you think. We'd appreciate that. Just on the back. On the back is the map, and that map we're looking for where are the places you love, where are the iconic places, where are the community places and spaces that are important to you. And to the community. You can speak for the community, I guess, but certainly you. And you can just do that in between exercises we're doing. Okay, we've got a few more here. Okay. So we'll finish those, and we'll move to question number 3. Well, I will tell you I am impressed. Because often, I like to do what's working first because I know what's not, in a lot of communities, fills up 2 times as fast as what's working. And you guys are pretty even, so that's pretty great. We all have things we can work on, so, but it's nice to see all the stuff that's working and you guys like and love, as well as the challenges. Okay. So, next question number 3. Has anybody ever done a one thing exercise before? A one thing question before? Okay, a few of you. So, we never get everything we want, right? Often, when we are asked, if we were to just get one thing, then for me, that would spell success, or I would think the effort was worth it, or I support this because to me, there is one thing that I want to see happen that is my most important thing. So, what's your one thing for the future success of Fate? Your one thing. And this one, answer one time. If that's not clear, I want you to give me one answer. everyone will get a chance to look at all of this stuff up there, okay? So we're not just going to put it up there and go, thanks, bye, right? You're going to get a chance to review. Are you ready for this? Okay. Now, does everybody have their phone with them, their smartphone with them? I don't know how you wouldn't, but that's just kind of the way it is. So we're going to do a few exercises, and we want you to scan this QR code.
Or you can text the number 44421520. Or, sorry, enter that into the website on Safari. Wait, so everyone. Okay. It's also on the agenda, so I'm gonna skip over.
Oh, no, you're going to answer them on your phone. These are 3 digital ones, so you're going to do your answers on your phones, and then it's polling. We're going to do some polling, live polling. Can you go back to the QR code, please? I'm sorry. I didn't realize I did that. Can you go back to the QR?
It's on the agenda.
Yeah. It's on your agenda as well, if you have one. If you don't have one, let us know. We'll get you one. Okay, is everybody there? Okay, are you live? Ready to roll? Okay, so first question, what do you see as opportunities? Now, I'll tell you how this works. These are word clouds. If you put in a sentence, then it's going to be the smallest string of letters up there. If you put in one-word answers, what we're trying to see is if people are putting in the same answer. So if it's one word, then more people have that one word, the larger it gets. So, as what's happening there, entertainment is the largest one because the most people have said entertainment is an opportunity that you see for your community. Does that make sense? So you can they put multiple answers in? I assume they can. Yeah. Okay. So let that go for just a little bit. Up to 3. Up to 3. Up to 3. So what you're seeing is opportunities, downtown, and entertainment are bubbling to the top. It's kind of like a heat map, right? More than one person is thinking those are opportunities, and when you have that heat map, it starts to grow. So now you see parking, downtown, planned growth, all rising to that level, okay? All right, let's go to the second question.
I don't think some people are done with the first one.
You're not? Okay.
Some people having trouble with the QR code.
Okay.
Okay, if you go to menti.com on Safari, you look at it. You might be right. Okay, yeah. You might go.
Anybody else need some help getting in? All good? Okay. So entertainment continues to grow, followed by downtown and then parking. Put parking and parking downtown together, those certainly grow. Okay, are we ready for the next one? Not yet. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it should, yeah. To go to the next one? Gosh, they don't have to rescan, do they? It should. It's okay. It's a workshop, it's okay. That's why we got through it. Okay, we're going to come back to it, but please enter when you get it up, okay? All right. Now, what do you see as challenges? That's coming up as your next question, right? I mean, that's, if you're logged in, you're in, right? Okay. Sometimes it takes two words to communicate the idea, doesn't it? Most everybody's good. So, randomly, somebody tell me about why entertainment is the largest thing on that first word cloud. Somebody who answered entertainment, somebody tell me. Yeah, please.
We want people to come here, spend their money, eat at our restaurants, and go home.
And leave.
Yes,
Okay. So that's entertainment from your perspective.
yes.
Okay. What about more than one person said entertainment? Yeah.
I was thinking about like, we don't have any like sort of like movie theaters or gymnasiums or any of those type of things that drive people. Like when I want to go to the gym or something, I have to go to the rock wall. Or, you know, or if I want to go to Top Golf, I have to go outside. I have to
Sure.
spend my money outside of this county because there's nothing like that here. Or I want to go to a water park, I have to go outside of the city. And those are the kind of things I was thinking entertainment-wise,
Great.
besides restaurants.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Tell me about downtown. Why is downtown on there as an opportunity? Please.
I think we have like great businesses and it started a great community down there, but there are like a lot of lots of open space to do something I think that's unique that a lot of suburbs like our size don't have the opportunity to do. Like a lot of them were created 175, 150 years ago.
Right.
Which ours, we're in a unique position where we get to kind of create something that's kind of what we want here and now. And I think more people want to go, but there's one building we have, we have Beer Mead, we have all sorts of other restaurants and stuff there. But if we were to grow it out, I think it would help bring people together, both physically and otherwise.
And there's room to do that too, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else on downtown? Yeah. But you think that's an opportunity, or you think that's a challenge? Okay, well, we'll get there. Thank you for that. Yeah, please.
Downtowns typically represent the character of towns. People go through it and they see the downtown, it's got character, feel, charm. They feel like the whole city has character, feel, and charm. So regardless of where you go, downtown is usually kind of like the canary in the coal mine, whether or not somebody wants to live there.
Sure, sure. It's also, downtowns are also a place that you get to be uniquely you, done right, right? So it's a reflection to the rest of the people who come in. This is who we are. We hope you enjoy it, but this is for us too. So downtowns, because of competition and everything else, but authenticity is usually your anchor for a successful downtown. So downtown be what fate says the downtown is, right? So that's great. It's terrific. Okay, let's go on to challenges. Yeah.
So I think one of the opportunities we have is the city is locked in terms of physical size. It's locked. We're not annexing any more land. We're not doing anything with it. And we want to preserve this. We want to preserve the small town feel, but we can't deny that there is growth happening whether we want it or not. So how do we plan that growth? And I really see the opportunity to design fate with the positives that we see from other communities and also avoiding the lessons learned of a lot of the communities that are 30, 40, 50, 70 years older than us that were here 70, 50 years ago, and now we're in trouble.
Sure.
Because they didn't do a good long-term plan and they're not paying for the infrastructure that they built, because we're not going to get development fees for much longer, in terms of being able to amp up our fiscal budget. So I see this as a great opportunity to learn from other cities and communities in the states and design ours right in a way that is going to be great for the citizens, but also attract great people, to your point, to come into the community, spend a bunch of money, and then go to their places, go back to their homes as well.
Great. All right, thank you.
So we got a great opportunity to do it right.
Okay, challenges. You mentioned parking downtown, certainly is a challenge. What else? What about traffic? Who put traffic? Somebody put traffic. What? Don't change challenges? Okay, there it is. You good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, yeah.
The traffic and the infrastructure live next to each other, because we're not, we've got a lot of growth in Fayette, and our roads are not keeping up with the number of people. And then here we are talking about how we want this to be a destination to bring all people here, but we haven't taken care of our own town for us yet. And the infrastructure is probably the top of the heap, with streets being widened and being able to traverse across, which is what's creating the traffic.
Okay, great. Any other thoughts? Oh, boy, okay.
I think one of the issues is too, it feels like, I know between, city staff, residents, and others, it's like a little bit difficult, because we want all these things, but it's not our own choices per se, because a lot of it's on TxDOT and other agencies to provide those roads, because they're
Sure.
roads, and,
Yep.
we can't afford to pay for them, so it's a lot of times I feel like both residents, staff, and elected officials, we feel like we're talking in circles because we're waiting on someone else. And so I think that's a lot of the frustration that people feel, is that you're sitting here kind of talking in circles a little bit
Yeah.
on something on a deadline that we don't control.
Right. Yes.
I also put traffic, because I think it's probably the biggest complaint in the city. But I have the blessing of having lived elsewhere, way less population, way much larger population, and I know you can see this here, but I think it's growing pains, and for those who maybe have only lived here and they just see it growing, and traffic building. I'm sure it's enormously frustrating, but I would
Thank you. Yeah.
agree on traffic issues. One of the cooler problems is downtown trade is a four-way stop, right? And there's no real way to make it flow better around, it's just all backed up, four-way stop, because the, different jurisdictions of who manages which
Yeah.
roads and how it's activated.
Yeah.
We watch out of our shop so many accidents at that little four-way intersection. And when you go to that four-way stop and you're frustrated, and you go to the other one because they can't see around the turn. And we see so many kids coming to the bus stop in downtown, walking from that neighborhood. There are no sidewalks. There's no safe way to get in and out of anywhere. People try, they want to ride their bikes, they want to walk their dogs to downtown, but there's no safe way for them to access that. So that would take cars off the road by giving them a better way to access the downtown area on foot.
Great. Okay. And I'm sure the railroad is just another one of those things that's there, right? Okay. All right. Let's go to,
So one of the
yeah.
challenges kind of feeding on this is, we do have a lot of people that, and this is gonna sound terrible, but it's just, this is a safe space, except for everybody listening on the phone, I guess. But we have a lot of people that I find that aren't educated, and they've chosen not to try to get educated on growth, or what it is in other cities, and they're almost just have their head stuck in the sand on, I want it to be like 25 years ago, and that's what we need to do, and we want nothing, and we are not outrunning this growth. I mean, no matter who wants to keep it or have it, it doesn't matter, it's happening. So our barrier there is these people that are just, like I said, some things are out of our control, and if they would just get educated on what are we really doing, what do we have control over, if they would try to just be part of the solution instead of just complaining, we would be in a much better place. So I would offer people to try to get educated on what does it really mean to try to grow a city, or to attend these things.
Great, great. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the question, answering the questions. All right, so that's, believe it or not, just a warm-up. Okay? So we're going to dive in, and the first thing that we're going to dive in about is the current plan, which was asked earlier. And so back in this corner, back here, is a table. And that table shows the 7 values that are in the 2021 plan. And then across the top, there are 3 columns. And the first column is keep it, something that is important, and we want to move it forward. The next one, the next column is change it, that the idea is right, but it needs to be tweaked, changed, modified, something. And then remove it. We don't think it applies anymore. We don't think it needs to move forward, et cetera. So, do you want to add anything? There's more description about each of those back there. So I'm not going to have you get up and do that right now because we're going to do some other things. But again, like this map back here, when you have time, please go back and dot this. This is very important to us to understand what are the things you still value, what are the things that need to be modified, and what are the things that need to be left behind as we look forward. Okay?
Ken,
Yes.
do those value statements all have like the descriptors?
Yes, they
on
have
that?
full descriptors on
Yeah,
the
'cause
chart.
that's really important, just,
Yes.
the 2 words maybe doesn't convey what we're trying to get out of those value statements and how we've been trying to implement them over time. So yeah, make sure you read the descriptions of what each of those value statements actually means as part of the current plan.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, you can also put Post-its on there to describe your thoughts about it, but
Any suggestions or comments or agrees or disagrees or changes that you would like to see on those, we welcome you to repost it.
yeah. And if that's too much for sort of just some of you being just introduced to it or there's a lot there, we understand that. This will keep coming back. as an idea, right? So that we make sure we nail this one as we move forward, okay? And then the next one is this current values radar. So that's the one that's next to it. And there are a set of values around the outside. And so it's really about where is it hitting the mark for you. It's a different way to look at the same question. And then there's supporting documentation and description about what each one of those are. You have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I'll just add, I think the first poster is more technical changes, word changes, a little more wordsmithing, and I think the second one is more of a feeling. Like, is this what fate has accomplished well? Are we doing this one well? You know, 'cause I want to know where we need to put more energy into the strategies or think more about those, like, strategies that are related to that value. So this is more of kind of getting an understanding of what you think is floating to the top, like what fate is doing extremely well in showcasing these values, and this one is more about tooling them or adding to them what we need to
So,
clarify.
So again, we're introducing this early, so it doesn't just show up at the workshop, right? So that you can think about this, and then it'll show up again. So if you have some initial thoughts on this, please let us know, and we're going to bring it back again because we know we have to keep working on this piece, okay? All right, so we're going to ask you now to start filling out more Post-its. And the first set we want you to focus on are really probably more positive in nature. And so when you think of moving forward and you think of charting the course for the future, for fate, we want you to think about needs, wants, and desires, right? Those are 3 levels of priority. Needs are defined the way we define them. We need to do this to have success. It's the highest level of we need to do this. We need to find a way to make this happen. The second one is what we call a want. And so this one is if we had the choice, we would choose to do this. But it doesn't raise to the level of most important, right? So it's priority level 2. A lot of work gets done in communities at the wants level because you can't always do the biggest thing every time, right? And so there's a lot of work that happens in this tier. And then the third one is desires. And desires we look at as, man, I sure would like for this to happen, but if it doesn't, that's okay, because we're working on the things we really need and we're working on the things that we want to make sure happen, okay? So, again, single Post-it answers on needs, number 1, wants, number 2, and desires, number 3, okay? And this will just kind of be your time to fill those in as you want to as we go, and I'll just keep you posted of time. We're going to do this for about 20 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on how quickly we start moving through it. So again, this one is answer as many as you want. Any questions? Oh, if you could, to help us, so what just happened doesn't get lost. From here on, if you would write N, W, or D in the corner, that would help us if they fall off the wall. We can put them in the right place. Needs, wants, desires. If you could put an N, a W, or a D in the corner, I would. Oh, you don't have to do that. We appreciate it. We want to make sure we get them recorded, and if some of them fall off, we don't want to lose them. So so everybody understands part of our process, I think I mentioned this before, we're going to photograph everything that's said, and then we're going to transcribe every single one of these comments so that we know it becomes a part of the record, it becomes a part of the consideration as we're moving forward with the plan. So this is why it's important for us to see this in your own words, to see more than one sort of blanket. Give me some detail. Help me understand better when we're working on strategy and we're working on action. What are those things we need to do? What do we need to address first? What is it I want out of this process? I want this to happen. I want a water park. I want entertainment. If entertainment doesn't show up on needs, I'm going to be disappointed. So I would also add that these can be physical things. They can also be policy things. They can be operations things. So when you think about not just physical things I want, but what do you want to go better, go smoother, those kinds of things. What do you know that other communities have that we're missing that we'd like to be able to do? And so that doesn't necessarily have to be a physical thing. It could be something else. So in that corner are the 7 valves. Yes. And so we're trying to check what of these still resonate and what of them probably need to be tweaked, and then what are the ones that aren't working. Yeah, those. Yes. Broad strokes. Yes. Well, they are. This one's more about how the feelings, right? And this one is really more about the plan, the previous plan, specifically, and changes. What the Venn diagram is created with those two, right? We're going to ask the same question in different ways. We've got about 4 minutes, then we're going to do something else. So if you're absorbing the information in the back, keep doing so. We still have a few minutes. And you can come back to it as well. Looks like we got a few more notes going up, so we'll let them get up and then we'll get going. Okay, we're going to move on to the next set. So let's make sure we get these answered, but also your time is well spent back in the corner answering those as well. So let's move on to the next set. So the next set is really about the things that are getting in our way. What's getting in our way for success? And we have barriers at priority 1. We have obstacles at priority 2. And we have annoyances at priority level 3. Okay? So barriers are those things that honestly we probably have to live with. Right? It's those immovable objects that you have to live with or you have to move around. And so you can choose to ignore them, or you can choose to embrace them, but they're not probably going away. And the easiest example I can always think about is a railroad. Okay? So we have to plan around them in most cases. So that's priority 1. What are those things that are barriers to us and our success? The second level is obstacles. And I like to think about obstacles like an obstacle course. Obstacles are challenges, but if you plan a way through, over, around, under, you can most of the time find a way to deal with, mitigate, or remove that obstacle. But you got to chart a path. You have to plan for that. So what are those things in your community that are obstacles to you? Again, remembering it's not elevating to something we can't deal with, we're going to have to just live with. It's something that if we plan for it, we can mitigate it. Okay? And then finally, annoyances. Annoyances are all those little things that just sort of bug us in our daily life, our work life, about moving, doing business, everything else in the community. But I would tell you that if you stack up 3 or 4 annoyances a day, it's going to become an obstacle really quickly. And those things stack up to reasons why people leave communities. And they're often, or don't come to communities, and they're often the easiest things to address. A lot of times they are quality of life issues. They don't have to be, but if there are things that just bug you, but they don't elevate, that's not a bigger issue, you get enough of those and that becomes a real challenge, right? That's the way you feel about your community, the way you feel about doing business here, the way you feel about visiting here, all those things. So annoyances are important, and oftentimes we can do a lot of really good work in removing them, okay? It's not low-hanging fruit. I don't like the phrase low-hanging fruit, but you can surely create some early visible wins by removing annoyances, okay? All right, so same drill, single answers. Those are over here on this wall where you can see people are answering again. We've got barriers, we've got obstacles, and we've got annoyances, okay? We'll do this for about 12 to 15 minutes, and if people are still commenting and working on the 2 things in the corner, we'll certainly extend the time. If you didn't get a chance previously to do that, please do. Yes?
If you marked remove it or change it on the values, if you have time at the end, I would really appreciate some feedback on what that means so we can like understand a little bit more, or happy to just stand over there and hear it in my ear. So thank you.
Okay. We're going to go till 7 for this, and then we're going to take a little break. Okay, we just got a couple minutes left. If you need to take a break, let's go ahead and do that. We're going to start up again at 10 after. What I want you to do during your break, I'm going to do this like they used to do to my kids' grade school. You know that? Yeah, right? Yeah. They used to do that in my kids' grade school. Okay, we're going to take a break, but during the break, what I want you to do is just read the responses on the wall from the rest of the folks that are in the room. And understand not just your perspective, but the other perspectives that you see up there as well. Okay, so we're going to come back together at 10 after. But during that, if you would please at least familiarize yourself with the content on the wall, that will be helpful for what we're going to move into after that. Okay? Thanks, everybody. We'll come back together at 7:10. Oh, I've got a ham horn, the one that goes ham. Yeah, it's just a soundboard where you can make all kinds of different sounds on it. Yeah, there's a horn on there. There's all kinds of church bells, everything, whatever, right? So, yeah, that's what, we're good to go. Okay, everybody, let's start getting back to our tables. I hate to tell the troublemakers at the back of the room to move away from the map. No, good, perfect, good. Well, then we're done. We're done? We're good? Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're not just going to have you comment in a vacuum, okay? So, because we often always have to, work together and negotiate to get stuff done, now we're going to break into some groups, all right? So you may be wondering what the number was on your name tag. The number on your name tag is the group that you're with, okay? So you're probably going to have to break up with your seatmate if you came with somebody, or you're sitting with your friends, and that's okay. Time to meet some new people. If you don't know them, introduce yourself, shake hands, and we'll get moving. So we're going to start up here. So those who have a number 1, we're going to move to this table right here. We're going to move to your table. That's group 1. This is group 2. So take your stuff with you, just so you'll have your stuff when you move. This is group 3. This is group 4. Yep, some luckies don't have to move. That's group 5. Do we have any? We don't have any 6s, right? Just 5s? Okay. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 back there. This is 5 back in this corner back here. Introduce yourselves if you don't know each other. You're going to be working together for the rest of our time. Renew old friendships, make new ones. Here we go. Hey, we already did this. Congratulations. Next step after this. Now, the first part of this exercise is to, as a group, you're going to get up and you're going to go to a place in the room, and as a group, you're going to review and you're going to talk about what you see as what are labeled as needs, wants, and desires, and what are labeled as barriers, obstacles, and annoyances. And we're going to ask you to do some work there, but we want you to at least at first ignore some of the language on this slide, because we're going to do this just a little bit different. I want to make sure that everybody's had a chance to review, that you've had a chance to talk together, because what we're going to do after this is going to go quicker if you've had an opportunity to do that. And since we're making new friends, you probably need to have some conversation first. So, group 1, I want you to go to needs, okay? Group 2, I want you to go to desires. Group 3, I want you to go to barriers. Group 4, I want you to go to annoyances. Group 5, I want you to spend time on that back corner. Now, and this map here. So you have the opportunity to do that if you haven't already. Now, I'm going to just yell out, rotate. And all that means is you're going to move clockwise around the room to just those 6 posters are those 6 Post-it areas and these 3 things in the back. So when I call rotate, group 1 is going to move to wants. The group that was at desires is going to move over here to barriers, et cetera, et cetera. So you're just going to rotate around. I just want you as a group to see what everybody else said and then talk about it for a few minutes. Because then I'm going to ask you to come back as a group and choose a couple of things that you think are most important. Okay? That's why we're doing this first part. All right? So with that, yes, sir? How long at each station? We're probably going to do about 4 or 5 minutes at the most. It's going to be quick, right? So we got a lot of information to get through, and I want to get through prioritization because that's really what we want to get to here, okay? And if you're doing it quick, and I don't want people milling around, if we feel like we're getting through them quick, then we're going to take 2 or 3 minutes, right? So it's going to be as quick as you want to move, but feel like you've absorbed it, because we're going to come back to them. We're going to keep rotating. When one comes back to needs, we're going to change the game just a little bit, okay? All right, so does everybody know where they're going? All right, break. Break to your station. Okay, you got about 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, and then we're going to rotate, okay? Okay, you got about 30 seconds. We're going to rotate. All right, rotate. Just go to the next poster in the set. Make room for the group behind you. Oh, that was really loud in here. So you wouldn't be on top of each other. Now you're on top of each other. Yeah, you should just move one station forward, not two. Yeah, they're fine. They're right. But these three. Give the map some love. I'd like to find out about some things I don't know about great places. Those three across are what you guys are at right now. You got about 30 seconds and we're going to rotate again. Okay, let's rotate. Just shift one slot, one position. You got about a minute and a half on this next rotation. Got about 30 seconds. All right, let's rotate. So you guys are going to barriers. Okay, we got about 30 seconds. I know who he is. No, I can't. I wish I did.
got one right now. Soil. Oh, so living, breathing monster. Horrible. They'll tear a house up. Oh, dude, yeah. Swirl here is.
Okay, let's rotate. You're over here. You're on number one. They got it. Okay, let's rotate. What do you have left? How many do you have left? Two left, okay. We got two more rotations.
Where are we all huddling now?
You're going over to one, to barriers. All right, let's rotate. Okay, you got about a minute before the last rotation. The next one should be the last one you haven't been to. Okay, that's the last rotation. You should be at the last one. You haven't been at this one, and then we're going to move on to something else here. So rotate. Okay, we got about 30 seconds. Okay, that's it. That's the rotations. We've got about, what time is it? Okay. Are we okay with doing that? We're still doing that? Yeah. Okay. That was a lot of info and a lot of input that all of you gave to those questions. So here's what I want to do. We're going to run pretty quickly through this. I'm going to give you about a minute and a half because you spent that time. And we're going to try to get you out of here by 8 o'clock, okay? We don't want to cheapen you on the exercises, but I want to be respectful of your time and thank you for going to 8 o'clock. I guess I didn't ask you if you would. We just kept going. So, okay, so here we go. You're going to go back to your original station where you started, okay? And your group is going to get a minute and a half to pick your top choice off the wall. So group 1, you go to needs. You need to decide as a group, what's that one thing off that needs list that group of people says this needs to be addressed. So you're going to have to negotiate with each other. No, you pull it off. Yes. Yes, we have. Yeah. So, go ahead, yeah. So, what you're going to do, you're going to pull that off, and each group on the wall over here has a sheet. And so, it has down one side needs, wants, desires, it has barriers, obstacles, and annoyances on the other. I want you to take the one that your group picks and just walk it over and put it in that square. Okay? That's you recording what your group said was the most important off that list. Now, what you're going to tell me is, well, what if somebody chose the one that I wanted and there's not another one like it? Okay. What often happens is we don't get to choose our first choice. Sometimes we need to have another choice. We need to have a second choice. So, on the ones that are really bubbling up, there's probably multiples of that. But if there's not, and your group has the one and it's not there now, you got to pick a second. Okay? It's not fair, but it is the way we do this. Okay? Negotiate. You got to do it quickly. That's why we spent the time before to make sure we could look at and talk about that stuff. Question?
So just confirming, for example, on barriers, let's just say tech stop appears there 6 times. It's completely reasonable that tech stop would be all 6 groups or however many groups there are.
However many decide that that's the most important thing.
So we're not trying to create a prioritized list. I follow.
We're going to create 6 or 5 prioritized lists. And they're all different because you're all individuals. Okay, but what hopefully we're going to find out is there's a Venn diagram here where this stuff starts to overlay and we start to see really now smaller groups instead of individuals are now agreeing that these things are important to us and we got to start focusing on those things. Yes?
Can we summarize on a Post-it note what we took from that, what they all meant?
Mm-hmm. You were guessing on what we were doing next. Nope, I want you to pick Post-its off the wall. But that should make it 30 seconds for your group to decide.
So if we already did that, we can go down to Post-its and.
Yeah, let's do this orderly. Let's not be cutting in front of everybody. It's only going to be a minute. Sounds like people want to crush it down to a minute, so I'll give you a minute. This will be like a cakewalk, right? And then wherever we're at, we'll go. So, okay, go to your original stations. That's good work that you guys did. I don't want to belittle that work, but I do want you to pull the ones that you already commented on. Right, that's right. You're choosing one, not summarizing several. Okay, clock is starting now. 1 minute. If you have it and you're ready to post it, and the station in front of you is open, go ahead and rotate. I don't want to hold you back if you're already moving, but be respectful of the people that might be in front of you who are doing their work. "30 seconds." I will say, that's one of the first times I've had the anticipation summarizing the entire part, which are great. They need to win as much as they need. Okay, rotate. You should have already picked your first one. Put it on your sheet if you haven't done so already. Move to the next one. Well, oftentimes we'll compress it into one thing, but I want to make sure people have time to actually do some review. If you got an open station in front of you and you're done, rotate. If not, you got about 20 seconds. Rotate. Get your hands up. Okay, rotate. Make your choices. Go ahead and rotate. It's a race between 2 and 4, it looks like, for second place. 2 and 4 neck and neck coming around the corner. Three's coming up fast. Again, rotate if you're ready. All right, you should probably have one left, I would think, at this point. You got one left, or you done? Done? All right. Nice job. Perfect.
I have an observation. I've been involved with this.
Okay, is that the last group? Okay. All right. So, I want to tell you guys that Group 5 won. No, Group 3 won. You didn't know you were going to win or... There are no losers, but Group 3 won. It's the first time we've had a group that anticipated the way that they did what we were doing next. So thank you so much for that. But also, your group was doing it as well and created a cheat sheet of the ones that they were picking as well. So you guys are on it tonight. I just want to thank you for all that. I want to thank you for all this dedication. You just went through all of this, right? All these thoughts, all this download, all this understanding that you're giving us, and then going through a process very quickly as a group, as small groups, negotiating with each other about what's important to us and what's going to bubble to the top. Now, you've already given me an extra 30 minutes. So I appreciate that. I thank you. And your time is done if you want it to be. But if you want, I would love for each group to hire someone from their group and just go up there and tell us the top things that you selected. You've got about 2 minutes or a minute and a half to do it. If you want to do it, I want to hear it. And I want to hear it in your words, not our words. Okay? So you guys won, so you're first. You got a minute. You got a minute to a minute and a half. So you better do it quick. Okay, let's everybody listen, because you're going to get your time up there too.
Okay, so real quick, our need was downtown, just downtown fixed, more accessible, just more usable. We love that to be our need. The one
Did you pick two?
No, we
Oh.
had our notes.
Oh, okay.
So I just,
I was gonna say, I was gonna disqualify you.
oh, the desires is keep the hometown feel. Keep the hometown feel. We know the growth is happening, but keep the identity. The barriers is I-30. It's a good and a bad. The obstacle is we want the community to get more involved, more educated, more involved. And we were talking about people are unhappy about something, but if somebody mentioned it was a 3% voter turnout, I don't know if it was that low, but I wouldn't be surprised. So if it's one thing to sit there and complain, it's another thing to get off your butt and do something. So let's get that done. And then the annoyances is traffic. It's just, it's there, it's part
Understood.
of, it's the pain of change.
Yep,
But it's annoying, but it's there, and eventually it will get less and less as we improve.
great. Thank you. All right, let's go to table 2. Group 2.
For group 2, for needs, we had more recreation for families, trails finished. Wants, similar, sidewalks, trails for walking, biking, connecting grocery, downtown neighborhoods. Desires, community centers, barriers, text up, thank you, everyone can text up. Obstacles, downtown parking, and then annoyance is the 66 551 intersection.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much. Let's go 4.
All right, so for group 4, our need was, similar to one other group, so downtown build out and support, so we have to build it out, and then once it's there, we have to support it, because those are kind of two different things there. Once, sorry, there we go. Entertainment or recreation besides parks, like, I think the city does a great job with parks, but it would be nice to have other entertainment options when it's 112 degrees. Desires is a large singular draw, like something that really brings people to faith. I think there are examples, in other cities, y'all text us something that's uniquely faith that brings people here. Barriers. Text out. Obstacles, it's kind of hard because a lot of north versus south, of I-30, both get equal attention. That's kind of hard to do with a lot of stuff being built, for example, on the north side and the south side of Brooklyn. It's hard to structure the way the city is built to kind of give them equal attention, but trying to figure out how to create
Yep,
and connect those communities.
great,
Annoyances, also traffic.
perfect. Thank you. 1. We've done 3 groups in about 3 minutes, so good job. Let's keep going.
All right, so group 1, starting on the needs side, we put ease of access. I think we're getting a couple of points here, being traffic is preventing ease of access at this point in time, but also the current road infrastructure to some degree is preventing connectivity across the communities. We're talking a lot about the integration between the various areas of faith. So we've got Edgewater, we've got Williamsburg, we've got Shingle Cross on the south side, Wood Creek on the north. They all have amazing amenities, but there's no real way for other areas of the community to appreciate those. Once we had unique commercial destinations, I think this is a general theme here. We need to have something within the city that's going to draw people in. We need people to spend money here, and we want people to come visit our businesses so we can have an economic base to keep building this town that we're striving for. Desires here, this is one that I forgot to write down, so I'm very quick. To have more engaging leadership. I think one of the things we're thinking on here, particularly as it relates to this comprehensive plan, is just how it's communicated. Making sure that we can get our community behind the plan, behind the vision for the future, and really engaging and generating excitement for the future phase going to be. I'll be brief on barriers, text up. On obstacles, we have a lack of true faith identity. I think this ties into kind of the wants on this side, where we need something that makes faith uniquely faith, something that people want to move here for, something that people want to come here to visit for. And then lastly, on the annoyances, we want a little bit of a different route than traffic. I'm trying to pick a blind spot here. So we don't put fate, fire, and PD under staffing, police department under staffing. I think we went with that one because it's definitely going to be Luckily, I don't need them very frequently, and I hope it stays that way. So it was a blind spot that I thought we thought it was a group that work on.
Great.
So that's group.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Group 1. All right, let's go 5. Voluntold. It's the best way.
So, first of all, under protest, we were the last group, and you guys picked all the ones that we wanted to pick. But,
So you have a great slate of second choices.
the need, we put down parking because in order to drive business into downtown, you want a place to go. Customers can't find a place to park, they can't be in a restaurant or shop or anything, businesses will go out of business. Wants really kind of like some high-end retail shops, places for people to go spend their money. Actually, no, Wants was what, more green space, Desire was more high-end amenities downtown. Barriers, traffic. Traffic is unfortunately just a part of life. Roads never built before the traffic always gets there. Roads are built priorities. When it's overflow traffic, it gets bumped up on priority lists, so we know it's a barrier. The obstacles, really just the downtown roads and how it feels, being able to get in and out of the shops downtown. And then the annoyance, this one, we had pretty intense discussion in our group. This one kind of went out, was the percentage of single-family home rentals that are popping up in the community right now.
Interesting.
That's really becoming an issue. The homes are starting to look dilapidated. And the city's biggest revenue generator is the property values. And so anything that compresses the property values has a long-term impact on the community, and the transient nature of it could affect the character of the city going forward.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks, Group 1, or Group 5. Okay, before, I'm going to jump off. We've got just, what are we doing next here? We are 4 minutes over from 8. And so, thank you so much. Thank you for the effort that you put in. Thank you for working hard and not just hitting the surface, but plumbing as much of the depths as we could get to today. I really respect that you've decided to come and participate in this process. It means a lot to us. It makes our jobs easier in the way that we get to understand you easier as a community so that we can do better work for you. So thank you for the hard work. I look forward to working with you again, and Michelle's going to wrap us up.
10 seconds, but I want to encourage you to visit the forwardfate.com website. We're working on it. It's still in progress, but we're transitioning to that update phase. So check back periodically for all the events that we're going to do. The next survey is coming out in July. So be on the lookout for that and be prepared to share that with all of your cohorts and communities and circles, if you will. And then in that regard, we'll have a lot of opportunity online with the survey for the community to participate in the similar exercises that we did tonight. So just so they know that they'll have an opportunity to weigh in on the visioning as well. We have a pop-up event at the Fate Farmers Market on August 8th where we'll all be out there. And so I really would love for you guys to stop by and tell your friends to come by and visit us and learn about this. And then lastly, our big event, Planning and Design Workshop Public Open House. We're working to nail down the date, but we're targeting late August, early September. So I just wanted to plant that seed, but that's our big event where we're getting a lot more community engagement, a lot more specific information about where things are happening. So that's really exciting. So I just wanted to get those dates out in front of you and then remind you that the website's where you can find all of the information for next steps and that is under development. Cool. Thank you again so much for your time and have a great night.
Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it.
Committee members, if you can stick around, we still have to adjourn the meeting. So if you can please step back onto the dais and we'll complete that.
And we'll also be remaining after in the back for continued questions and conversations. Thank you. There. This is yours. Cool.
Okay. Let's do it. We have a forum.
Madam Secretary, what's the next item on the agenda?
Item 6, adjournment.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, raise your hand. Okay. Passes unanimously. Adjourned
you.
at 8:07.